Buenos dias, and I'd like to welcome you from one of my favorite spots in nature. I'm standing here in the Andean Mountains, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It is so quiet, it is so inspiring, it is so empowering. I'm connecting with nature, coming to you. My name is Kim Ho Lung, and thank you for tuning in. Have you felt inner resistance lately? And inner resistance can pop up in various forms, like I am not good enough. This should not happening to me. What's wrong with him or her? I can't do this. This is not for me. I can't stand this anymore. You get this, right? This is inner resistance. This is the moment where we resist what is happening in that moment. And no worries, we experience resistance each and every day. Also me, and I bet you do, you too. And what resistance shows us is that there is a discrepancy, if you will, from where you are and where you think you want to be. So there is a gap between where you are in this moment and where you think you want to be. This is called resistance. So, resisting life comes from the fact that you are here, but actually you want to be in a future situation. So in that way you are not really in the here and now. You are not in this place, in this moment. And with this gap, usually resistance arises. And this resistance can sometimes be very powerful, that it may sweep you away, or that it's taking control over you. However, maybe this resistance is telling us something. Perhaps the resisting of the moment is pointing us to a certain direction. And I'd like to invite you to open a little corner, a little space in your mind where this may sound true. That once you are resisting life, once you are resisting the moment, that it may point you to something deeper within yourself. And if you are open to this, if you are curious about this, then resistance, experiencing inner resistance, can be a portal to not only deepness within, but also eventually that you can accept what is. Again, what would it be like when you are experiencing an undesired, an unwanted situation. It feels yucky, it feels uncomfortable, it feels negative. And yet there is an opening within you where you can feel, perhaps I can accept this situation. Perhaps I can accept what is. Often, the situation itself is not the cause of the resistance. Rather, it is our thoughts about what happens in a specific situation that is causing this resistance. So again, are you open to explore that the situation you are in right now perhaps, or that you experienced recently, where you felt this huge negativity arising, this huge blockage, this resistance, that perhaps this situation is pointing you to a new insight, to a new path. Perhaps it's inviting you to reframe the situation from a negative narrative to a positive one. And in that way, such a situation, we can turn it around and change it and shift it into an empowerment. So resistance is absolutely normal. We deal with it each and every day. And yet, how can this situation of resisting life, basically, can point to you that there is something behind it, that it is telling you something, that there is a message to you. And I want to make it clear that it is absolutely important to acknowledge your inner resistance, to acknowledge and feel the feelings and emotions arising in that specific moment. And at the same time realize that you are not this resistance, that you are rather a container or a space that can hold this resistance, that it is safe to allow the feelings and emotions to arise. In that way, the resistance can subside again. And also the feelings and emotions can calm down. And when that happens, a spaciousness arises, a calmness and tranquility, the acceptance of the current situation, the acceptance of what is. And I get you, it is easier said than done. But see for yourself, be curious, and observe yourself when you go through resistance in life. If there's an opening to go beyond that, so that you can turn this situation from a negative to a more uplifting and positive narrative, by accepting what is. I hope these words make sense to you, and I am wishing you a marvelous day from my heart to yours from the nature of the Andean mountains. See you next time. Bye bye.